everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Olivia. If you're new here, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're posting, well, not we, I am posting lots of good content and you should follow along and stick around. And if you aren't new, then hey, what's up? Welcome back. So today is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so we're kicking off the holiday season, and I wanted to do a video kind of giving you guys some, like, you know, not crash diet tips, but like healthy advice for, you know, entering into the holidays. Just two very small, quick disclaimers before we start. One, if you have any suspicion or previous history with disordered eating or anything of the sort, and this is going to trigger you, then please do not watch this video. Click out right now. I will not be offended. Go ahead. Give you a minute. Okay. And the second one is I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist or anything. I am soon to be a doctor, so, but yeah, I'm not a doctor. I did graduate. I have a bachelor's degree in exercise science, so I have, like, you know, some sort of credibility. I'm not just like Google searching, like, let's be healthy. Like, I know some stuff. But again, not a doctor. So the very first thing that I will say about trying to stay healthy for the holidays is that stressing about eating healthy is also not healthy. When you're super stressed out or chronically stressed out, meaning for like a, you know, long period of time, your body increases its production of cortisol. If you don't know what cortisol is, it's like a steroid hormone. So when you have increased levels of cortisol, that can actually be, you know, linked to a lot of fat retention and a lot of fat gain, because when you are actually, fun fact, when you're really stressed out, your body goes into this like conservation stage where it tries to hold on to a lot of the fat that it already has because it thinks like you're going to starve essentially. And that fat retention from those increased levels of cortisol is just, you know, an evolutionary biological factor that we haven't grown out of. Because years and years ago, when, you know, humans had to scavenge for their food, they, you know, didn't know like what they were going to have for their next meal, they didn't have a fridge stocked full of food, and they were stressed out about it, their bodies would hold on to that fat. So again, tip number one, just try to relax, because stressing about being healthy is also not healthy for your body. The second thing that I will say is that it is absolutely 100% okay to indulge. I literally just made like these delicious pumpkin chocolate chip blondies, and I'm personally excited to eat them this weekend. But it's okay to indulge, like that's fine. You don't want to be tiptoeing around like, oh, I can't have that slice of apple pie because like I'm over my calorie count for the day. Like, get rid of your calorie count for Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Like, it's just, don't stress yourself out, like, honestly. So that being said, that it is okay to indulge, the rule of halvesies is one of my favorites. So if someone's like, hey, do you want like another serving of mashed potatoes, or what else do people eat? Pumpkin pie, desserts, brownies, like whatever it is. You can say like, oh, like I'll go halvesies with you, like I'll split it with you, and then like you can still have it and they can still have it, and it's not like, oh my god, I'm like, halvesies is great because you can still like have what you want, but you don't have an excess or like an over amount of this food that you're like might not even finish. So one, healthier. Two, reduce food waste. Next, let's talk about restriction. So don't do it. Okay, I don't want to say like don't restrict yourself at all. Like if you've had like 10 pieces of apple pie, like maybe like think about it. But when you have a holiday party coming up, like the day of, or you know, Thanksgiving, like don't be like, oh, I'm just like not gonna eat anything for the entire day so I can, you know, like save up my calories so I can eat dinner later. Like, no, don't do that. Unless your body is used to some sort of like fasted state in the morning and afternoon, don't do it. One, your body's not used to it, and you could heighten that, you know, potentially heighten that level of cortisol that we just talked about. Two, your blood sugar could drop and you could pass out. That's not fun. yeah, just don't do it. You're gonna be miserable, and probably you're thinking like, oh, I can save on my calories and then eat later. You're probably just gonna eat more unhealthy food once you get to that party, because you like have already justified it in your head, like, oh, well, I didn't have my bowl of frosted flakes this morning, so let me have a whole pan of brownie batter. Like, a fun tip is to try and see if you can become the host of a party. So I know, like, sometimes you'll go, like, if I go over to my grandma's house or my aunt's house for that matter, anyone from that side of the family, but if I go over to their house, they just feed me, like, all the time. That's it. So a fun way to kind of turn that around is be like, hey, come on over to my house, and then you can, introduce them to, like, different recipes you've been trying, and still, like, don't be like, here's, like, some leaves of spinach. Like, no, they want food. But you can introduce them to healthy recipes that you've been trying, and they can, bring some of their own, so you can still have those, like, really fun, yummy indulgences during the holidays. But it's also, like, really fun to just, like, be the host and have people over. Another very, very important tip is to sleep. Please sleep. Because I know we're running around the holidays, like, literally today I'm running around trying to get stuff done. But I know we run around during the holidays a lot, like gift shopping, going to parties, traveling to different family members' houses, and finishing up work, like all that stuff, meeting deadlines, whatever. Please sleep. Sleep is so important for your health, like more important than we probably even realize. But sleep is very important, and you need to be. I know, like, people think they're like, oh, I can run on 4 hours and I'm fine. Like, no, try to get like 7 or 8. Especially during the holiday season, it's really important to remember to get adequate amount of sleep, just because you don't want to be running on empty all the time. Another really fun idea is, and I know this sounds like super cheesy, but to do like a fun activity at a holiday party. I know that sounds dumb. But, like, I know the turkey trots are really popular, like, the day or the morning of Thanksgiving, as long as, like, the weather's not, like, super gross like it is out today. But it was actually funny because I texted my boyfriend the other day, and I was like, you trying to be, like, a turkey trot family or no? Because I'm just, like, sampling the crowd here. And I've never done one, but I think it'd be really fun, again, as long as, like, the weather is cooperating. But, yeah, you could do one of those, or honestly just, like, take a walk after you're finished eating. Or I know, like, there's a lot of really interactive games now. Like, you don't have to sit down and play a board game. I'm like, the one thing that's coming to my mind is, do you remember the show, like, Minute to Win It? I think that's what it was called. I think it was Minute to Win It. And they had all those games you can play with, like, household objects or something. And people play them at, like, holiday parties now. I just know the one, like, you strap, like, an empty tissue box around your waist, you put ping pong balls in it, and you're just, like, shaking all over the place and letting ping pong balls come out of this, like, tissue box. That's the one that comes to my mind. But you can do stuff like that, and it's fun to do. One, you're moving and you're having fun. You don't even realize that you're just, like, staying active. And two, it's fun to just, spend time with the people around you, with your friends, family, whoever it may be, and not just, like, sit around the TV or, like, on your phone or something, because I know that can tend to happen a lot. Going off that, I think it's really important to remember, or at least try to be mindful, that the holidays, I think, should be more people focused than food focused. Because, I mean, I know especially Thanksgiving is like, oh, we have to make all this food and, have it ready at this certain time and this, that, and the other. And not just, like, I know, like, I like the idea of the Friendsgiving thing. I've done that in the past, and it doesn't have to be, like, an elaborate meal that, huge turkey and mashed potatoes and green bean casserole and sweet potatoes, like, all this stuff. Sometimes you just, like, hey, I got a pizza, and you want to come over and hang out, and then you just have this little, like, Friendsgiving thing, and everyone brings their own little dish, and you just, like, hang out. I think that's a really cool idea. I know a lot of people, that's getting more and more popular with a lot of people. So, but I think the Friendsgiving is a lot more, like, focused on, like, the people that you're around and just the friends that you have, and you don't have to stress about it as much. And I think it'd be really cool if we could start integrating, like, that concept and idea into, like, traditional Thanksgiving dinners that don't just have to be about the stress of making or eating the food. One last thing I will say is to drink water. please. I know everyone says like, oh, drink more water. Like, we get it, but like, do we actually do it? Probably not. I know sometimes like when I'm eating a large meal like at Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or whatever the occasion is, I'll eat so much that I'll just like forget to drink water. And then at the end of the meal, I'll like be so full that I'll just like don't want to, drink water or anything. So make sure you stay hydrated and drink water, especially if you are consuming alcohol. Yeah, a lot of like holiday like alcoholic beverages have so much just like sugar in them and stuff. One, you don't want to like I wouldn't want to just like get drunk on your grandmother's couch. So make sure you're like hydrating and drinking water. And two, you're just gonna like probably have a bad hangover or a sugar hangover the next day if you just like keep on that. So make sure you're hydrating yourself. It also helps a lot with the amount of bloating that you're gonna experience the next day. If you're drinking water, you're probably not gonna be as bloated. So that's a good thing too. It's super, super, super important to remember to give yourself a lot of grace during this time. I know, like, for me, like, I try to exercise regularly and eat healthy and everything, but I also really like food. So I know, like, sometimes if I, like, start on an unhealthy eating pattern, like, if I'll have, like, a cookie during the day, I'm like, oh, well, like, everything's ruined, I might as well just, like, keep going, and then I'll indulge probably even more than I would have, like, before I had that mindset shift. But again, it's okay. Like, you have to like remind yourself that if I have 2 pieces of apple pie, like, it's gonna be okay the next day. Like, maybe I'll be a little bloated and I'll feel like kind of tired, but like in the long run, it will be okay. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. If you have any other like healthy eating habits or exercise tips or like recipes that you want to drop like down below, go ahead and comment them. Other than that, make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.